Hey trackers, today I'm following a bear trail, and this one has been used quite a lot. There are some very well-worn footsteps here, and the ground shows continuous use, and I don't know how long the bears have been using this, but it goes through this forest duff, and as you can tell, everything is really dry right now because everything I step on just crunches. Here's a knocked over equisetum or horsetail plant along the way. Here's some knocked over the other direction. The trail goes right through here, and a lot of knocked down horsetail plants right here, and comes through here. There's some knocked over ferns right here. See how you can tell these ferns are not standing upright like the ones around them. These are lady ferns. They should be a upright growth form like that, and they're not. They've been stepped on. It looks wet in here, so this may be a spring, and it may have been a site that the bears were using as a wallow, possibly. Oh yeah, it's pretty wet in here. You can see the mud. So this may have been a site that they were using just to get wet and cool off. Here's a nice flattened edge of a bear track right there. And it's got broken off pieces of the horsetail plant right here. When the bear stepped on it, it broke that off. So these are all dried up. Here's another nice bear track. It's not perfect. The mud is drying up because we're getting into midsummer here, so it's not really a good wallow site anymore. But it looks like it's had a lot of use, and there's a trail going right through it. So you can see there's disturbance here on the forest floor that indicates the passage of the bears through here. Notice how the duff has been removed from the ground right there and right here. Looks like some marking has been done on this tree. A few branches have been broken off. Doesn't look like it was bitten or anything. Sometimes they bite those off. Here they're going up here where these redwoods are. So this is, it's not a park, it's just private land, and there's redwoods on it. And the bear trail heads up right up through here. My battery's going, so hopefully I won't lose the signal here. If the battery goes out, I'll have to continue this at some other time. But I'm following this trail of disturbance right here. Wow, there's a whole field of horsetail plants right there. Cool. And it looks like our bear trail is heading that direction. There's broken off branches right here, and a worn place with, oh look, an owl pellet. I'll have to collect that. Okay, so I stopped to collect that owl pellet. I'll dissect that later. Maybe I'll do a video with dissecting the owl pellet. So, still following the bear trail, noticing that these equisetum or horsetail plants are knocked over, and notice the well-worn footstep areas here. So probably this trail has been used by multiple bears, and you can look ahead and see where it goes through the horsetails up here. Where the bears have to step over a log. There's a worn spot, and notice the knocked over, bent over horsetail plant right there that's been stepped on. So deer have hooves, and they don't, they can knock plants over and break them off, but their hooves have sharp edges, so it looks a little different than the kind of damage that you see from a bear's foot when bears step on things. So they tend to just flatten them out. And also, the places in the trail where the bear's footsteps are too wide and too flat to have been made by a deer. Now, that's not to say a deer could not use this trail. Deer can use these trails, and they do. But bear sign just looks different than deer sign does. Their trails are wider than deer trails, because of course bears have wider bodies than deer do. Deer are really skinny animals, and they can just fit right through something like this and hardly leave much of a trail. But a bear, being a wide-bodied animal, they kind of plow through and make a lot more sign. So you find things like knocked over ferns. This fern should not be showing the light side up like that. It's been stepped on. Probably the base was stepped on and it got knocked over. So I'm still following this trail of disturbance here. Here's one that got knocked over completely. And note how these are laid down. Those are horsetail plants, and they've gotten laid down in the direction of travel. Now bears will use these trails going both directions. So, I can't say that, it was one particular bear, because there's multiple bears out here, and they're all using these trails. So there's a slope up here, and it looks like there's a fork. Most of the bear activity seems to be going this way. There's a little bit going that way. Possibly to go to that stump right there that looks like it's been ripped open. So the main trail goes this way. Let's go see the stump just because we're here. Might as well go look at it. So this looks like it's not really a well-used trail. So maybe once or twice someone came up here. And that honestly doesn't look like bear work. That looks like pileated woodpecker. If a bear got at this, it would have just ripped it open. But I also see these here, and the log is not just completely ripped open. It's just kind of something that could have been done with a beak. So this looks like woodpecker damage. There is a bear trail going this way, and I think it goes up the hill that way. But my battery is not doing well, so I kind of want to see where this one goes while I still have battery juice. So I'm going to take you back down here. Listen to the crunch. Everything out here is super dry, and it's fire season, so kind of have to be careful out here. But this was the main bear trail, and it seems to be going up this way. So let's see. Whoops. Oh yeah, it goes right up here. This almost looks like there was an old road here, probably from the old logging days. And of course this hasn't been used in a long, long time, because this isn't really, nobody travels back here. It's just on my neighbor's ranch. So that looks like an old road. But the bear trail does seem to be going up there. And the battery is not doing well here. So I'm going to cut it off here, and probably when I have another battery, I'll come back here and see if I can pick this up and follow it up that way. But that's good enough for now. At least you got to see some of the bear's trail through this wonderful redwood forest. And it's full of tan oaks and California bay trees as well. And there's tons of ferns in here. So wonderful environment. Bears love it. And hope you've enjoyed that short little bear trail.